Earlier, I spoke with Dr. Dmitri Alden to take a deeper look at the value of a good night's sleep. Dr. Alden is a liver and pancreatic cancer surgeon at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York. I started by asking him how getting enough sleep plays into our overall health.
Lack of sleep causes changes of metabolic setup in our body, causing in a lot of people weight gain, cardiovascular problems, and most importantly, depression. And rates of suicides are going up in people who have lack of sleep. Patients who don't sleep well don't recover well. We know that, and we take a lot of steps in the hospitals, especially after surgery, to make sure that people have quiet time and rest. It's very, very important.
There's now these nap cafes that are opening up in Hong Kong to help sleep-deprived people get some rest. Is this a growing trend or specific here?
Well, I think it should be a growing trend, because if you look at history and if you look at some most powerful people around the world, such as Winston Churchill, Ronald Reagan, and George Bush, all those people, including Albert Einstein, used to take naps daily. And a lot of science backs up the idea that a short 20-30-minute nap can restore the power of our body, increase alertness. And there's some study out of NASA which showed that astronauts have improved their skills of piloting and alertness by 34% when they took 20 to 30-minute nap.
So how do we break the cycle of being sleep deprived?
Well, to break the cycle of being sleep deprived is first trying to find a way to sleep normally at night. And that is a recommendation to all adults, and especially children and parents, is to limit the amount of excitement before going to bed. Try to eliminate stimulation, such as movies, video games, phones. A lot of us have the habit of looking at our phone right before going to bed. That should be the first step to have a good night's sleep, is to put the phone away for at least an hour before going to bed.
Why is it that some people, myself included, could take a 5 or 10-minute nap and feel totally refreshed, and others can't?
Our body is governed by, our sleep is rather governed by two major systems in our body. One that just analyzes how much sleep we need, and the other one is called circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is a biological clock that tells our body when we need to rest. And actually, for most people, circadian rhythm kicks in at around 1 to 3 p.m. and tells the body that it's time to rest. That's how a lot of people, a lot of adults, feel a little sleepy, a little weak around this time of the day. So a 20-30-minute nap at the time will be a good answer to the biological clock demands and would restore the sleep. A lot of people can't because they overstimulate themselves. They drink a lot of coffee, they have very demanding jobs, they get stressed out.
How much sleep do we actually need at night?
The guideline is to have at least 8 hours. But 6 to 8 hours, I think it's 6 hours is the very minimum amount of sleep that someone needs to function properly. Otherwise, I can tell all the viewers that you're kidding yourselves if you sleep 4 hours, 4.5 hours, and you think that you're sharp. You're not. And a lot of tests and research backs this up.
So is that the same for everyone, despite your age, your income, where you work, live, anything?
Well, certainly income doesn't play any role in this. As far as age, we know it's interesting that teenagers, and I have two at home right now, they have a different biological clock that actually is shifted, and their night sleep and the time when the biological mechanism tells them to go to sleep is much later than for most of adults and younger children. That's why we always fight with teenagers to go to bed at normal time, and they just can't fall asleep because, again, scientifically, it's not possible. Their biological clock is shifted. For older people, it's the opposite. They go to bed earlier because the quite opposite mechanism that works in their brain.